Welcome back to the news at 10. Indigents of Ovukwa in Ovukwa local government area of Cross River State are appealing to the state government to construct a bridge that will serve as an access route to their farmlands and other adjoining communities. The residents say for decades the only way to access their farms and neighboring communities is to swim through the river, and this has led to loss of lives. Our community report tonight looks at the challenges of these people in Nigeria's South-South region.
What makes for an ideal human habitation? Potable water, good road network, health centers, schools, and other social infrastructure. Unfortunately, that's not the case for indigents of Ovukwa, a community in Ovukwa local government area of Cross River State. A vibrant and calm community that prides itself in farming, an occupation that is practiced by both the young and the old for decades. But it comes with a few obstacles. To be a successful farmer here, you must master the art of swimming. With farm produce or firewood on their head, children on their back or side, the women wade through the water and then walk the distance to get to their destination. It is from the same water that all their water needs are met: cooking, bathing, washing and drinking.
When the river full this place, nobody will feel cross. They say we enter canoe.
Our resources all is from the other side of the river. So all these people go to farm through this place, and we find it difficult to pass. Over time, we have been appealing to the government to come to our aid, to construct a bridge that will link to that place.
The state government may have begun opening the roads which stretches into their community, a step the people appreciate, but a permanent solution would be better.
We have been suffering in this place. That's what the only thing we need right now for government to do for us, because right now the road is under construction now. Our major problem now is just the bridge now. So we are begging, we are appealing to the government that we should get mercy. At least let us just help us for this bridge, so that most time we lost about 10 people a year.
And assurances are coming from the state government.
Government is already constructing access road into that community. Now that it's being brought to the attention of the government that beyond the river, there's still another settlement over there which they would like to be, connected with. I'm very sure that the appropriate government authorities will look into that and with a view to addressing that challenge.
Creating an access route to their farmlands will no doubt make farming less stressful for the people of Ovukwa, but when that help will come remains uncertain.
Food giant Nestle has launched a new Maggi seasoning cube called Maggi Niger Port, meeting consumer demand for quality food seasoning products. The managing director of Nestle PLC, Mauricio Alarcon, speaking at the official product media launch in Shagamu, Ogun State, hinted at the unique seasoning quality of the brand, which took into consideration key ingredients essential for authentic Nigerian cooking.
The unveiling of the new cube, Maggi Niger Port, by management of the company, heralded its birth into the ever-competitive Nigerian market. According to the management, this will enhance cuisine by amplifying the authentic Nigerian essence of food to suit local tastes and food cultures.
Because of their popularity in Nigeria and their affordable price, Maggi products provide nutritional value at a price that all consumers can afford. They help fill the nutritional gaps in iron and iodine, as you said, and people's diets across the country. But we also encourage and educate consumers to change their behaviors and promote healthier lifestyles. We also provide information about balanced diets, micronutrient deficiencies, and the importance of culinary hygiene throughout our Maggi Cooking Caravan initiative.
The new cube takes into consideration the local recipes of natural smoked fish, stockfish, and crayfish.
Today, we believe we have the best product because we mainly use ingredients that our consumers know and love. And it's in line with this commitment that we have launched the new Maggi Naija Pot. And we are very happy and proud to present you today Maggi Naija Pot.
Something very important that be able to give you something very strong.
A practical demonstration of how to cook with Maggi Naija Pot is executed by a chef.
Just look at this. Just look at this, guys.
Wow.
And a cooking competition follows to round off the event. Nestle, a dominant brand in the Nigerian market, expects that Maggi Naija Pot will be a runaway success with consumers because of its quality, and it's already available in the markets.
OVH Energy has launched its Lagos Mainstream Jetty at the Lagos Apapa Harbour. The jetty, which was conceived by O&O as an innovative industry solution to the perennial challenges marketers face in the importation of petroleum products, is designed to eliminate lightering costs of over $200,000 per operation, reduction in vessel waiting costs of over $20,000 per day. It is also expected to help discharge demurrage costs of over $20,000 per day and facilitate a design flow rate of 800,000 litres per hour. The unveiling ceremony had in attendance the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, the GMD of the NNPC, Mekanti Baru, and top management team from OVH led by Wale Tinubu.
Top players in the oil and gas sector, regulators, the Minister of Transport, chief executives are here at the Wing Towers to witness a downstream solution conceptualized by O&O that will eliminate demurrage and lightering charges for petroleum products. OVH Energy, which you know as O&O Marketing, is unveiling a midstream jetty. But first, a few comments before heading to the facility.
This 54.5 billion naira project is set to support over 27% of Nigeria's estimated petroleum consumption, resulting in potential revenues to the government of up to 3 billion naira per annum in fees as a result of the utilization of the facilities.
I stand here to recognize and applaud the effort of O&O PLC in providing innovative solutions to bring an end to the infrastructural constraints associated with the discharge of petroleum products in the country.
Located at the Lagos Apapa Harbour with a draft of 13.5 meters and capacity to receive a 45,000 deadweight ton, the jetty is linked to storages onshore by a 3-kilometer submarine cables, making it the first in sub-Saharan Africa. It will also reduce discharge time of products from 21 days to 3.
What we're doing is really offering a logistics service to the industry, and the midstream jetty is something which we've conceptualized. It's at least 116 piles were sunk into the ground. It's at 58 meter piles, so it's located in the depth of the channel, in the midstream, so it saves demurrage costs, it saves you berthing at a jetty on land, it improves efficiency and reduces costs ultimately.
It is always a good sign for a country to see completion of industrial projects. And this one was a major project, and I think it's a very encouraging sign for all the potential investors, including ourselves, of course.
According to OVH Energy, this $150 million novel piece of infrastructure is set to transform the receipt of petroleum products into the country and create sustainable efficiency within the downstream sector and save marketers approximately 18.1 billion naira annually.
From there, it's on to the business news of the day, and here is Melinda Akilami.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks, Ladi. Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Nigeria and the Debt Management Office are disagreeing with Moody's downgrade of the country's debt rating from B1 to a B2 stable rating. The government agencies say Nigeria emerged from a protracted recession and recorded improvements across a broad range of indexes. These include the 0.55% economic growth in the second quarter of 2017, which saw the country exit its worst recession, consecutive improvement in the country's PMI, taming inflation levels since January 2017, and the recent World Bank Ease of Doing Business report, which took the country 24 places up. In the meantime, the CBN says it plans to sell 119.94 billion naira of treasury bills at an auction on November the 15th. The financial market regulator plans to offer 32.44 billion naira in a 3-month paper, 22.82 billion naira in the 6-month bill, and 64.68 billion naira in the 1-year note. Results of the auction will be announced on the same day. The Apex Bank issues treasury bills twice a month to help the government finance its budget deficit, reduce money supply growth, and provide an avenue for lenders to manage liquidity. It's the second consecutive rise for local equities market today as investors shrug off the report by Moody's and remain focused on market fundamentals. Chimeze tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The equities market remains relatively stable and still bullish as the all-share index went up 0.34%. Investors seem to be gearing up for year-end and holding on to their current position. However, the gains made by stocks in the consumer goods and industrial sectors supported the index movement. Transaction volume today wasn't much, just about 193 million shares, and the transaction value was a paltry 2 billion naira. Again, Diamond Bank, supported by FBNH and Fidelity Bank, were the major volume drivers. The market recorded 18 gainers and 19 losers, with international breweries as the top gainer on the price movement table, while USC properties led the losers. And unless there's a major shock to the market, the positive trend is expected to continue for the rest of the week. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago.
Oil prices lowered a few hours ago after U.S. government data indicates a surprise rise in U.S. crude stocks after imports went up. Latest data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration shows the country's gas inventories fell to 209.5 million barrels last week, the lowest weekly level since November 2014. The OPEC's 2017 World Oil Outlook predicts demand for its crude will rise more slowly than previously expected in the next 2 years. Major world markets closed the Wednesday session with mixed sentiments as investors digest latest third-quarter earnings, trade data from China, and keep an eye on President Donald Trump's tour of Asia. That's Business News. I'm Melinda Akilami.
You first. First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, new West Ham United coach David Moyes says he has a point to prove on his return to the English Premier League. That'll be in the sports news. Please stay on with us.